Total insanity. The search for Skunk Ape. After safely returning to Earth, with a brief stint in Boise, Idaho, Leo and Al have been laying low. Conrad is still on his search to recover the alien super bioweapon, Al. Not AI, Al. For the alien nation, but is far off their trail for now. Leo and Al, now in Florida, are seeking the elusive and enigmatic Skunk Ape, as they believe he holds the knowledge to esoteric and ethereal, evasive techniques that would assist their ultimate escape from Conrad's tireless pursuit. Leo and Al risk transmitting to ask if there are any leads as to the possible location of Skunk Ape. Hello. Hello, and welcome back to Total Insanity Returns again. How'd I get over here so much? I gotta move over here. Yo, I'm trying out different compressions on my voice. I don't know if it's still a little too clicky. We'll see. But for now, let's put a little reverb on this actually. Wow, so OBS, okay, I thought my OBS crashed. That was very scary for a second. Okay, so that's too much. But if we give me some light soft verb, that might be a little, that's a little too. Okay, anyway, I was messing with this before. I thought I had it set, but you know how it is when I start streaming live. So, anyway, that crawl pretty much set things up. Al, how you doing up there, dude? What's wrong, man? You guys can hear all my clicking. I don't like that. You see? Let's turn this compression down. I wondered if I should have this such high compression. I'm going to put it on, let's see, this one. Okay, that makes me a bit quieter probably, so adjust your sets. People don't have TV sets. Adjust your sets. People have TV.
We're maybe going to be a little rusty. Leo will go on with his usual antics. But fear not, I, Al, am here with the technology of intergalactic space travel and psychic abilities. Now, you'd think with all of this, I could track Skunk Ape. Well, the problem is your planet is a bit foreign to me. I'm not quite sure of I could make excuses all day. Let's just say I can't do it. And, but I'm here to help out.
Well, I appreciate that, Al. So, we got some camera angles here. We got the side angle. We're going to go into, let's see, today, on the rundown, we got, so the state of the show we discussed. I'm back. We're back in Florida, streaming from an undisclosed location within Florida. We believe if we can track Skunk Ape, he can help us to, if you think about Skunk Ape, if you think about Bigfoot, if you think about all these different these different creatures, Skunk Ape, he's very elusive. They managed to hide out from humans and all of our technology and all of our detection for all this time. And so we're thinking, if anybody knows how to cloak themselves, if anybody knows how to evade tracking by Conrad. If you don't remember who Conrad is, I'll catch you up with that in a later episode. But Conrad is basically the general of the alien nation, tracking Al, as Al is a special, he's a special guy. Now, that's not the right document. So, yeah, that's why we're looking for him. But first, if you don't really, if you know me, you know Skunk Ape. But, just to make sure everybody's on the same page here, we're going to go in and do a little bit of catching up on Skunk Ape. So here, if I go to here, okay, we should be getting the web browser. Okay, there we go. So Skunk Ape. Let's see, we need some music, man. But the Skunk Ape is a large and hairy. I'm not going to read this Wikipedia article, but Skunk Ape, he's a mythical creature, as I mentioned, very similar to Bigfoot. As here they say dubious articles have been presented. I disagree with that. These articles are actually highly accurate, and they're actually downplayed by the mainstream media, including anecdotal sightings. What are sightings when Darwin was looking at evolution of animals? And looking at, he had anecdotal sightings of the animals, did he not? Anyway, I don't buy the cast of footprints though. The cast of footprints never did much for me. Why have a cast of foot? Why just take a picture of the footprint, measure it, take a picture of it. The cast, you could say, oh, it's a physical. I'm not going to get into the cast here. Skunk Ape, they say he's considered to be the result, a combination of folklore, misidentification, and hoax. We obviously disagree with these because we think that Skunk Ape is real. And only we, believing he's real, along with shout out to the dude in South Florida that tracks Skunk Ape. But I think we have enough Skunk Ape information. Skunk Ape, though, I believe he is described as reddish brown. He often has a very putrid stench, maybe from being in the swamp, let alone, hence why he's called Skunk Ape. Now, Al, do you have any other information you can tell us about Skunk Ape?
Well, Leo, you covered a lot. Let's see, you got his coloration, you got his smell. He's definitely a mystical creature. I know in some depictions he's depicted with purple fur, especially in your own artistic renderings. But he's truly one of the most, if he truly exists, which we're betting on, I think he's one of the most interesting creatures on all of planet Earth, though I only have just been here for about a year. Well, already a year, wow. I guess I'm slowly learning your customs.
Well, Al, that's great. Okay, with Skunk Ape caught up, I have with catching everybody up to Skunk Ape, I have what's coming up next. Okay. Later we'll be having a call of the Skunk Ape. And this is setting it up. Next episode, we're going to go out into the field. We're going to search for Skunk Ape, but more on that at the end of the show. Let's see. Is anybody... I haven't checked the chat at all. You'll notice there's a bright moon out in the sky tonight. You'll notice... Perhaps we can tap into these energies. Perhaps we can tap into these energies in our call for Skunk Ape. Obviously it's very difficult to find Skunk Ape. We're trying something never before achieved by anybody else. So we're gonna do that a little bit, but first, let's take a look at his dwellings. I was gonna do this call the Skunk Ape first, then look at his dwellings. But since we're talking about Skunk Ape, let's go into his dwellings, and then we'll do the call of the Skunk Ape. Okay. So first off, if I come back over here, we got skunk dwelling. So here you can see these are artist renderings from an anonymous artist. These are artist renderings of Skunk Ape's dwelling. Not all may be accurate, but definitely this may help us find this guy. So let's zoom in here a little bit. Oh, that's the wrong thing. Let's lock that. Let's zoom in here now. Okay, so we got, you'll see here, this is above the surface, deep within the forest or the swamp. It is, really, are there multiple skunk apes? Is there one skunk ape? These are things that we don't really yet know.
Yeah, we honestly, if we can pull this off, we're gonna be legends. Okay,
Okay. Anyway, now, Al, I'll I'll go to you when I want you to talk, Al.
Do not disrespect me, Leo. I am an alien being from a foreign planet. First off, I am your guest here on Earth, but second off, I have powers beyond your comprehension, so don't even mess with me, buddy.
Okay, I'm sorry, Al. But here we have.
You better let me explain some of the drawing.
Okay, Al. Okay, no problem. So there's a palm leaf canopy, similar to how deer may sleep deep within the shrubbery and the thicket. Deep within, you can see amongst the shrubbery and thicket. I don't know if you guys are seeing I don't think you're seeing my mouse on here. But anyway, that's to the right of the screen. We got the palm leaf canopy. There's tiny monitoring devices around to basically detect for intruders. They also help to cloak his abode here. Leaf door. He's got surveillance and his cloaking system over there to the right. You can see. Let's see if I zoom this a bit more. Cloaking system. We got his ancient statues of wisdom. These, some say these might help in warding off intruders. Some say he just likes to have them there. Some say if you actually did manage to enter this leaf canopy, the average human would be scared off by these ancient statues of wisdom. But anyway, this is just his atrium, if you will. This brings us down to the underground chambers. Would you like to take it from here, Al?
Sure, Leo. Thanks for remembering that I wanted to talk about the drawing. So here we have, you said this was an atrium, but here we have another atrium. I don't know if that's true. But here we have the entertainment and play chamber. You can see here, this is where Skunk Ape comes to relax. He has his old video games. He has some music recording devices. Over to the side, he has his meditation room. This is where he attunes himself to the natural energies and life forces of the swamp, forest, and that of Mother Nature as a whole. Down here, kitchen, pretty simple. Everybody needs a kitchen. He has to, he definitely goes out and forages for different edibles, but, sometimes you gotta prepare stuff, depending, So here, Skunk Ape not really being able to go out into the world that frequently. Here is his library and storage area where he has his collection. He could have a computer. Does he have a computer? That's a good question. But he definitely has a library. He definitely has a study here, some storage area back here, and of course, the obligatory bed and bath. Here he sleeps on a simple mat with his simple, of course, Skunk Ape. I mean, he'll go to the bathroom outside, but he's got his bathroom here as well. So now, if you notice, in this little hallway, there's a hidden door. Shall we go deeper through the hidden door to the other layer that we now discover ourselves in? Below the water table. I like that better. Okay. Leo, take it from here.
Okay, now you'll notice. No, I'm not going to play music right there. Below the water table. I research background music every episode and all of the royalty-free music. We're taking a break here for me to talk to the camera. All the royalty-free music is either flagged once I stream as not royalty-free, or it's very bad and limited. It's basically impossible for me to run tech, do a performance, and play music live at the same time. So I'm going to have to find a way. Maybe I'll use some recording. Maybe I'll make some recordings to have as background stuff. But you see I got this synth over here today just to mess with, give us a little bit of musical accents. Ow. Okay. I'd like to give a shout out to an Italian restaurant for giving me free soup today. Free minestrone. I forgot my wallet and they gave me free soup. And it was like actually really, really good soup. The restaurant is called Mandola's Italian Kitchen. I'd like to give a shout out to Mandola's Italian Kitchen for giving me free soup. Thank you. It sustained me for this live stream. Okay, now back to the dwelling. Now, this is going, we all know the water table in Florida is very high. Would that be? So, you don't have to go far down and you're getting into some trickery places. So there's some reinforced mud walls here. We're getting to maybe the aquifer. Come down the ladder. First, let's talk about the ancient swamp texts and esoteric artifacts. I think these are pretty self-explanatory. You can think of them as similar to the ancient Jedi texts in Star Wars. You can see there's different symbology going on here. We have the hyperbolic time chamber. And the hyperbolic time chamber, my friends, there's not much known about it. We know that Dragon Ball Z has a hyperbolic time chamber. Is this similar? Is it different? What does it do? That's a little bit of a mystery. We don't know everything about Skunk Ape. Here is a secret crawl space. To get this info, whoever got this info for us, thank you so much, because this really helps out. This is very, notice you crawl through here, you might uncover some bugs. You might encounter some little guys hanging out. You can make your way through here. You come to the Oracle of the Aquifer. This is also pretty mysterious, but you can see there's some type of statue here. There's a rippling water. And this is where Skunk Ape goes when he really is stumped to contemplate everything. To maybe ask for guidance and direction. To maybe hang out. Maybe he just hangs out with the Oracle of the Aquifer. We don't really know. But these are Skunk Ape's dwellings. And that's that. So now, as mentioned, we will soon move in to the call of the Skunk Ape. Al, what can you tell us about the call of the Skunk Ape?
Well, Leo, this ceremonial rite that we are about to perform is both improvisational and built upon the psychic practices of my home world, mixed with the aboriginal Skunk Ape energies. Now, we just go into the forest. You think we're going to find Skunk Ape? I don't think so. We need to send out a beacon, a beckoning beacon, to maybe, just maybe, with a glimmer of a hope, that's somehow we could be linked metaphysically through time and space to our great Skunk Ape as we ask him for help.
Wow. That's a pretty good description, Al. I'm supposed to look that way. I think before I looked that way. Okay. Shout out Reindeer Man back there. Okay. We now begin the call of the Skunk Ape.
Call of the Skunk
Call of the Skunk Ape.
Call
of the Skunk Ape. Call of the Skunk Ape. Call of the Skunk Ape.
Call of the Skunk Ape.
Why don't I hear the other one? Call of the Skunk Ape. Call of the Skunk Ape. The Skunk Ape. The Skunk Ape.
Call of the Skunk Ape.
Call of the Skunk Ape. Call of the Skunk Ape. Skunk Ape, we beckon you to help us cloak ourselves. We do not ask this for our own gain. We ask this for you to protect us from evil. We ask this for you to help us. We are pure of heart. We come with good intentions. And you'd really be helping us out a lot. Isn't that right, Al?
Yeah, you really would.
Anyway, okay, that's the Call of the Skunk Ape. Oh wait, no, that's done. That's the Call of the Skunk Ape. That's the Call of the Skunk Ape. And really, this was like, okay, let's get back into it. Streaming from the room, figuring out the setup. This is what I say every episode. But Total Insanity, it comes back, goes away, comes back, goes away. I want to have a little bit of a more steady stream to get stuff going. We're going to have some, there's things in the works for guests, for other people coming on. Point is, right now, first, we got to get this cloaking device so we can stream without Conrad on our trail. So that about does it for the show today. Now, next week, this week was all in studio. Next week, we're going out into the world, as I said, out into the forest. We're going to hunt for Skunk Ape and basically try to find his dwellings and ask him. This was like the initial ingress, as we can call it. But yeah, so next Tuesday, let me see, maybe let me go to my rundown, make sure I'm not missing anything. Yeah, so next Tuesday, we got Search for Skunk Ape Part 2, and then the following Tuesday after that will be Search for Skunk Ape Part 3. After that, I think it's going to be like Thanksgiving. We'll probably take a break then. But I do want to be streaming every Tuesday after that, besides maybe like certain holidays and stuff. So Total Insanity should be back in gear if we can find Skunk Ape. And so for now, if you did tune in, thanks for watching. This was, like I said, a little short episode. But we're kind of getting back in the groove. I'm having new setups. I got a new setup here that I think works pretty well. The main thing is just boggling my mind around it all. But that's about that.
Leo, be quiet. You're just going on about all the tech again. Nobody wants to hear this every episode, Leo. You've got to move on, okay? After this Call of the Skunk Ape series, I don't want to hear any more tech complaints from you, or I'm going to vaporize you, man. You got to stop it.
Okay, Al. I'll trust you on that. I know, Al. I know.
No excuses, Leo. No excuses.
Okay. Now we're getting very serious. Okay, so like I said, next week we got the Search for Skunk Ape Part 2. That one I'm hyping up for you because that one, there's going to be a cool video. There's going to be some good stuff for that one. So anyway, yeah, I guess that's about it. I'm just hanging on here. Search for Skunk Ape Part 1 concluded. We'll be back next week as we continue the search. And
that's about it.